care. I don't even know who's playing, to be honest with you. Yeah, we got to make sure that we come out ready. Coach Collins and Northwestern, he's as good as the coaches there in the league, and I don't say that just because they've had a rough stretch right here. So you're just kind of patting somebody in the back. That's not the case whatsoever. I've watched him for years. They run elite sets. They play their butt off. They understand how to defend. They understand all those things. And as those freshmen become sophomore and juniors, they're going to be formidable. But our guys have to understand, like, this is the Big Ten, and you need to make sure that you're consistently at your best. Now, I thought Northwestern had a lot to do with that. They came out of a game versus Illinois where, they just did not play well. They just did not play well, and obviously Illinois played really well. And you could see there was a different level of hunger. I didn't think we had a great deal of hunger to start the game. I thought we then figured it out, but then we made a lot of losing plays again down the stretch where we just fouled, didn't get in coverage again. Just some things that we need to continue to correct and continue to grow with. But again, it's the Big Ten. You're not going to win everything by 40 points. It's not easy like that. So there's good coaches and good players, and Northwestern's one of them.
Chris also spoke very highly of you, saying that your teams don't beat themselves. You have to beat Iowa and your teams. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say the same about his team. I just think I do think that's typically what we do. I thought today we beat ourselves with some things, some fouls that we shouldn't have made. Just a few busted coverage things that we didn't do. We just didn't impose our will on the game. We need to make sure that we do that a little more consistently. But again, they wanted to win too. And they're unique in the sets that they run because they run a little bit different style than most of the league where they're really physical on those screens. And their kids continue to fight and compete, and they're connected. And it says a lot about their staff. And again, it's not, some people say that when it's like, oh, yeah, they're having a rough year. But I genuinely mean that. He's just classy. Like, he's just one of those guys that you, as a young coach, you're like, that's the kind of class that I want to carry myself with.
That 7-minute stretch in the first half, you guys didn't have a field goal. I think it was 15-12 to 8-12.
First half?
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you mitigate those stretches where you're not able to get a shot?
Oof, man. I'd have to watch the film. Probably make them. Would be the first thing. I'd have to watch the film. Again, I thought, so they came out, they did a great job of mixing up coverages because they came out and trapped initially, went away from the trap, went to a switch, went back to the trap, in and out of that stuff. And it kept us off balance a little bit. And we had to have the right lineup in. That's where Al is such a big deal just because he's such a good passer, to where he can read some of those situations a little more versus switches and traps. And again, I think credit them just keeping us on our heels. And that was a big reason why we couldn't score there.
You mentioned different coverages. How do you feel about the way Northwestern defended Bennett Sturts and how he was still able to get a career high 36?
Yeah, I think part of it is they probably stayed home on our shooters a little bit more, so he's able to get more points. Meaning, they just stayed so far home. Like, there was just a free lane to be able to score layups on occasions. If their switch was busted or there was a trap busted. And then, I thought late Tavion did a great job of getting in the pockets and making decisions out of that, which, winning time, that's where Tavion's so good.
How do you feel like you guys played defensively?
Not very good. But credit their offense, too. I mean, I didn't think we imposed our will. I thought we were indecisive. I thought Cooper Koch was really good. I thought he was excellent defensively. I just didn't think we were very good defensively. Just dumb fouls. Like, just some of those fouls were like, oh, guys, just stay vertical. And there's not a foul. But we didn't. And so, but again, like, you can't sit there and say we're going to win every game by 40. It's not like Debbie Downer. Like, you won the game still. So there's that. But then you need to improve some of those things.
Was there any fatigue after that long trip?
No, just didn't play very well.
What were Cooper and Tavion able to do to Martinelli in the first half that slowed him down? He started 1 of 7.
I thought Cooper just did an awesome job of walling up. He took away his easy stuff early. Outside of that 3 that he gave up out of half, I think Isaiah Howard gave up a 3. But Cooper was the best on him. He was excellent. I mean, he did a good job of walling up, made him finish over the top, didn't allow him to make anyone else better. I thought he was excellent.
How was Sturts able to take over in the second half, and how is Bennett able to do that pretty consistently? He's proven he can do it.
Well, there's a couple things. One, I think they stayed home on our shooters a little bit more, so they're spread out, so you're able to get to the rim. Two, I think the thing with really good players that people don't realize is the players around him have to allow him to be great. So what I mean by that is a lot of teams have great players, and Bennett's obviously one of the best in my mind. But they won't, their teammates want some more shine out of it. And so they won't allow that player to be great or to shine to a certain level. Everything's not built just so that Bennett can have big games, but when they're staying home, his teammates allow him to shoot and to do those things and just want to win. And I think at this level, you don't see a lot of that where guys aren't, as unselfish. Obviously, I think Northwestern is. They let Martinelli go to work. I think there's teams in our league that are like that, but our team and our players around him allow him to do those things. And then he's obviously excellent as well.
How much did the amount of fouling kind of disrupt the flow of the game for you guys?
I don't know. I don't think about it till afterwards. If you don't foul, they won't call fouls. We fouled. Like the second half, it was just dumb fouls. They were fouls. Because we got them on the screen, and sometimes I get all sensitive. But today it was like, man, you got to stay vertical. You got to be disciplined. You got to stay in your gaps. You can't let them get into the paint. And so if you don't foul, then there's no stoppages and there's rhythm to the game. And we need to do a better job of not fouling.
Well, what do you feel like it is about your team that allows you to win even when you're not playing at your best?
We believe that we will. We have a belief. We have a fight. We've won a lot of games together. Some of those guys, Bennett, Tavion, late, those two in particular, they just, when it's go time, it's go time. They could have the worst game in the world, and then all of a sudden it's those last 3 minutes, and those two, they turn up, and it's time to go, and then they win the game for us. And so it's just how we're built to be able to win those games and to believe and understand that things aren't, it's the game of basketball. I'd love to win every game by 30. I'd love to play our best every game. It's just not going to happen like that. That's the fun. That's the beauty of it. And I thought our guys did a good job of coming away with a win.
Can you feel the continuity when you bring 6 guys from Drake, when you bring a bunch of staff members? Can you feel that in these types of moments in terms of communication and stuff like that?
Yeah, communication. I think. Yeah. I think the way you talk, because in the heat of the moment, if I have to put my kid gloves on to talk to somebody, it's not going to work. Sometimes you have to talk, and it needs to be direct, and they need to say direct communication back. So yes, when you have that level of trust, you can get on guys, and then they're like, okay, and then we correct the problem, and we're good. And so that certainly helps, in those situations.
What were they doing to frustrate you in the second half? You had a 14-point lead. I think it got cut down to 3 or 4. And how were you able to overcome that?
A lot of losing plays, I thought, by us. I thought they were excellent the whole game. I thought we made a little run. I think we subbed. Our subs were fine, but we weren't able to get to what we wanted to get to anymore. And then they made a run on us, and then we made about 3 or 4 losing plays in a row. I think we fouled somebody, might have fouled a shooter, gave up an O-board on a free throw. Just a few things like that you can't make in those situations. They made a run back, gave them life. Now you got yourself some problems again. Now you got to hang on, and then you're playing not to lose, and it just snowballs on you.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.